Hi, I'm Max.
Hi, and I'm Denise.
And welcome back to another edition of Urban Lifestyle. It's kind of a special edition because we're down to Senator Gerald Neal's house, and he has a very special guest. And would you like to share with our audience who that is?
Andy Beshear, running for the great state of Kentucky as governor.
That is correct. So we'll be talking with him a little later. Also, we've got a piece that we did with TARK celebrating their 45th anniversary, and also the time capsule that we buried. Also, you went out, you were looking for some bike gear.
Yes, Middletown cycling for the ladies. We don't hear a lot about us as riders, but you don't want to miss this segment.
And we'll also have Avi Brito letting you know some things that you need to know to keep your home safe. We'll take a quick break and back with more of Urban Lifestyles right after this.
Cycling is more than just getting from one place to another. It's healthy, social, good for the environment, and anyone can do it. We at Middletown love cycling and really love helping others discover a new passion. Stop in today and let our friendly, knowledgeable staff help you get started. We cater to beginners as well as experienced cyclists. We're a local business that cares about our community because we are a part of the community. Come in today and get on a bicycle that fits your needs and improve your lifestyle.
TARK celebrated its 45th anniversary, and one of the things we did to acknowledge that was to bury a time capsule. So take a look at this piece. We're here today because we're celebrating 45 years of TARK, 1974 to 2019. We kicked off the celebration with recognition of our drivers and our maintenance team with a breakfast. We were here at 3:30 in the morning for that. We've done several events along the way. We've spotlighted a lot of employees for their outstanding work and achievement. And we just had last week the 45th Food Truck Festival celebration, which was a great success. So today we are going to continue that line in terms of the interment of the time capsule that's going to have a 45-year history in it.
But I am very excited to stand before you as we begin to celebrate or continue our celebration of our 45 years of service to our community. TARK was born to satisfy a need for transportation right here on the banks of the Ohio River Valley. This is a community that is very steeped in tradition around transportation. And in 1974, our citizens decided that public transportation and mass transit was the way that they wanted to go. And so we move nearly 45,000 people a day every day, 63% of which are going to work and another 20% are going to school. And we are glad to be able to stand before you 45 years later with a very, very bright future. And what's around the corner? TARK is transforming. We are moving from being just a transit agency to a mobility solutions provider, and we're going to do that using mobility as a service. And what exactly is mobility as a service? It doesn't matter if your trip's 100% TARK reliant or requires rideshare, taxi, bikes, scooters. It doesn't matter at all. You can plan, book, and pay for your trip very soon, all in one place. And so again, if you haven't, please make sure you take a look at our multimodal trip planner. Link is the redesign of our system. We're very excited about that. That is going to reshape how we do mobility in the region. And then we're also looking towards our bus rapid transit deployment very soon. So our motto is we move the city, and it takes a team. It takes a team to make it happen.
To work, getting to school. We couldn't do it without TARK and all what you guys do, all 670 of you each and every day. I want to be sure to thank our bus drivers, our operators. As you all have heard me say many times before, they're not just expected to drive a vehicle, they're expected to be tour guides, mental health counselors, security officers. It's a tough job. So I want to make sure that they know we really appreciate what they do. Then the guys and gals that keep our buses moving over here, thank you guys as well. As Ferdinand said, our fleet is aging and we need more money. We need more money in a lot of different areas of the city, and TARK is no exception. And then to the management staff, Ferdinand and the whole group, thank you all for rounding out the picture here as well. But you guys are like so much of city government, you know, you just get things done. And you're oftentimes only noticed when things aren't working properly, right? If you know what I'm talking about. The 99.9% of the time when things are going fantastic, most people just kind of take it for granted, much like they do city government. They kind of like oxygen. So that's what happens when you sign up to help the public trust like this. But it's exciting when you know that you're fulfilling and mobilizing people's daily obligations and what their daily routines are. Transit and transportation is, I believe, more relevant to us than ever before. When you think about the challenges that we have with a lack of density in our community, but people's desire for more public transportation, when you think about many families going to one car or no car as well, and then when you think about the challenges of climate change upon us. Here we are in mid-September, we're going to be 95 degrees again today. We're in a drought, we were in a flood a couple months ago. So the more that we can get people out of their cars and on TARK or walking or on a bike, the better that is for our environment. So the City of Louisville honoring TARK to celebrate 45 years of service to our community. In that time, TARK has performed an essential function for our city, providing transportation options that help give people access to opportunities to reach their full human potential. So our city thanks the members of the TARK team for their dedication and thanks TARK riders for their patronage. We look forward to the next 45 years of providing great rides to the people of the Louisville community. So thank you all so much, Ferdinand. Thank you for representing the team.
This time we are going to have our dignitaries in the back to actually get up and actually turn the first shovel for the groundbreaking. And of course, we're going to have our director, our assistant director, and our longest employee, Melvin Branham, who's been here 41 years. All you got to do is... it was a great way to end up the 45th anniversary celebration. And, the mayor was there, and of course, Ferdinand spoke, and it was just a great event.
It's just exciting about being able to be around when they dig it back up.
Yeah, and I don't think we're going to make that part two.
I don't think so either, but a piece of that history will be there for the future to see.
You are correct. We'll take another break and back with more of Urban Lifestyles right after this.
More than an energy company.
We are mothers,
Fathers,
neighbors, and friends.
Working hard when the weather is good.
And even harder when it's not.
with online updates to keep you safe and informed during the storm.
Programs to save you energy and money.
And new projects to help us provide cleaner, more reliable energy.
We're more than an energy company.
We are LG&E.
We're LG&E.
We are LG&E.
Our energies go to serving you.
We all know that Andy Beshear is running for governor on the Democratic side, so we got an opportunity to catch up with him down here at Senator Gerald Neal's home. So take a look at this.
So that being said, Andy Beshear. I hope y'all are fired up. We are 35 days away from ending the war on public education. We are 35 days away from making sure everyone has affordable, accessible health care.
I'm here with Andy Beshear, who is the Democratic nominee for governor of this great state of Kentucky. And we're very excited to have you on our show, Urban Lifestyles. And just want to talk to you about your campaign, what's coming up, and why you should be the next governor of this state.
Well, first, thank you for having me, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to your audience. I'm running for governor because people feel left out and left behind, and they're looking for a governor that listens more than he talks. I think that'd be nice. One that solves more problems than he creates. I know that would be nice. And one that never engages in bullying or name-calling, but spends all his time addressing the challenges that are in front of us. I want to be a governor for all Kentuckians. Democrats, Republicans, Independents, Eastern, Western, Northern, and Central Kentucky, to provide an administration that provides true opportunity for everybody.
I think one of your biggest challenges, whoever's the next governor, is that the country, not only locally, but from a national level, is very divided. What are the top 3 things that you think that you can do to reunite this state?
Well, I think this election is about reuniting our state, because every day Matt Bevins tried to create an us versus a them. I believe that we can only be a we, and we can only move forward together. My goal is to create unity of purpose in this state, where we all know that public education, pensions, healthcare, and jobs aren't partisan at all. They're just good for every family. So I want to be a governor for everybody, to create better opportunity everywhere, to make sure that every Kentuckian can take their parents or their children to see a doctor when they're sick, to make sure that the retirements of our public servants are paid, and to be out there creating a better school system and better outcomes for every single child.
voting, we say, is not only a right, it's a privilege. And what do you say those who have not been engaged in the process?
Well, voting is the bedrock of our democracy, and we need everybody involved. When people don't turn out to vote, we get Matt Bevin as our governor, and look at what that has done. So to everybody out there, I need your help, but this race is bigger than me, right? It's about the future of public education. It's about the future of health care. This governor wants to go back to a time before there was mandatory coverage for pre-existing conditions. And I hope people watching will think about their family. In my family, 3 out of 4 of us have a pre-existing condition. I believe everyone deserves to be able to go to a doctor when they're sick. This governor does not.
You know, when we're looking at, again, the campaign and just the election that we know is only about 6 weeks away, 5 weeks away, how do you keep yourself continually motivated? I'm sure there's a big toll pull on the family. How do you keep everybody engaged?
Well, it is hard being away from my family. I will say I haven't seen my kids enough, and that hurts. But I'm fighting for their future and every other child's future. I'm fighting for a world where no matter where you're growing up, you have an opportunity to get a world-class education. You can afford higher education or technical and vocational training, that you can see a doctor and get the medication you need without it breaking the bank, and that everybody has an opportunity to come together and move this state forward. So I'm fired up. I mean, I'm fighting for a better state and a better world, and I'm fighting for opportunity for everybody. So I stay pretty motivated.
And you look fit, so I'm thinking campaigning keeps you physically fit.
Well, they don't call it running for nothing. This is one where this is about my 8th event today, and we keep going and going. But a governor needs to show up and fight for every vote, which mainly means you're going to work really hard in the office. I'm going to treat every day for what it is, an important opportunity to move our families forward, and knowing every day is fleeting. As Attorney General, I've loved fighting for our families. Whether it's fighting for victims of human trafficking, putting more child predators behind bars than anybody else, taking on more opioid companies than any other AG, I've lived for the fight that helps our families. I'm going to keep on fighting.
You know, I really appreciate you spending some time with us, and best of luck in the campaign.
Thank you very much.
Well, I'm here with Gerald Neal and Kathy Neal's home. You all are the hosts of this event, and it was really, I want to say, inspiring and empowering. And here, Andy Beshear just talked so candidly.
Yes, I'm quite impressed with him. He was very thorough in his responses. It's clear that he's about the community. He's not about part of the community, but the entire community. So I was very impressed by the way he delivered himself.
So why was it so important for you to bring this event to your home?
Well, I think it's important for people to get connection with people that they look at on TV, that they see at a sporting event or something, and they don't have that interaction. So I thought it would be useful if we got a lot of my friends and some of my friends' friends into a space where it could be more intimate and they could have a real exchange and connection with who I believe will be the next governor of the state of Kentucky.
So we heard his message. We heard a lot of questions from different people here in the audience. What is it going to take to get him over the finish line?
Well, all races are the same. It's all about outcome. It's all about people coming out and voting. If people do not vote, if people don't pay attention to the process, if they don't think it's important and the energy is not there, then it makes it difficult for a candidate. But I think that you don't look to the left, you don't look to the right, you don't look behind you, you go for the finish line, and that's exactly where I'm focused, and I believe that's where Andy Beshear is focused.
You know, it was really interesting hearing him, and you can feel his energy and his excitement, and the whole family's involved. The crowd here is definitely engaged, so, he's just a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, sincerity is what I think, and I felt from him, and genuineness is what I felt from him.
Yeah, and then, of course, we talked to Gerald, who's the gracious host to bring all of these people into his home, and of course we can't forget Kathy as well, because she makes all of this possible. So I mean, this has just been a real great opportunity, I think, for the people and also for our viewing audience to kind of see Andy Beshear from a different side. We'll take another break and back with more.
An energy company.
We are mothers,
Fathers.
neighbors, and friends.
Working hard when the weather is good.
And even harder when it's not.
With online updates to keep you safe and informed during a storm.
Programs to save you energy and money.
And new projects to help us provide cleaner, more reliable energy.
We're more than an energy company.
We are LG&E.
We're LG&E.
We are LG&E.
Our energies go to serving you.
Denise, I guess it's understandable. You've gotten back out on your bike, so of course the first move you make is to go to Middletown Cycling to look for some bike gear.
Absolutely. There's a lot of, in regards to their attire and accoutrements to go along with it that make the bike ride more comfortable, especially for me, and safe and fashionable.
All right, so let's take a look at this.
Okay, so we're here at the Middletown Cycling, and I have Richard here who's going to accompany me. Richard, welcome to Urban Lifestyle.
Well, thank you for having me.
Okay, so biking is so big, and I'm back on my bike now because I had injured my arm. So I'm loving it. I love the trail that we're using. But, I'm seeing more and more women out there. If you could take a guesstimation in percentages, women to men, where does that fall for women riders?
Women riders, there's not quite as many of them as men, but it's more than you might think. I'd say probably 40% of riders are women. One thing that's really interesting that people in the industry don't really realize is that a lot of women are looking for different things in cycling than the men are.
Such as?
Well, a lot of men, they're looking for the newest, hottest technology, and a lot of women, they just want to go out there and they have great experience. Yeah, and you're not looking to, win race. I mean, there's a lot of women that are really competitive, but there's a lot of women that are just going out there and they're weekend riders. And they want to go out there, have a good time, and stay fit. Cycling's a really low impact, great cardio, and it's a really fantastic way to get out.
So for me, being somewhat new at this, one of my concerns was about the attire. And now I just have on a regular t-shirt, and I like this little thin t-shirt because on days when it's really hot, I like it. But some of the other attire like this, I call them cycling type of shirts and attire, and I like the little thing it has in the back. This is a brand that you all carry here at Middletown Cycling called Live. Tell me about that.
Live is a really, really, really interesting brand in regards to women's cycling because it's a division of Giant, which is the main brand we sell. But they got together with the Giant folks and they said women aren't being represented well enough in the industry. They're kind of being left out. And Live needs to be the group to fix that. So they have their own separate design teams, their own separate engineers. They're designing and developing all this apparel, all these bicycles, totally independent from the men's group. They don't just pink it and shrink it.
Oh, great. So I'm thinking for a woman, and you're looking at women's apparel, the rule for buying this, because it is rather tight fitting, what is the general rule as a woman who's looking to say, I want to get me some biking accoutrements and attire? Do you need to go a size bigger, same size? How does that work?
Typically, with a lot of the apparel items, they're made to, like you said, to be a little bit more snug fit. That's not all of them across the board. There's more sporty fits, and then there's more casual, comfortable fits. Really, it's all about coming in and trying on a couple of sizes and seeing which one you like. Typically, you probably want to go about a size bigger than you normally would. But if it feels right for you, if it feels comfortable, then it's the right thing.
Now, for me, in wearing some of the biking shorts, do all the shorts have to come in being real tight, or do you have some that's loose that fits like a regular short? That's my first question.
Yes, there definitely are some that fit like regular shorts. Now, it is very, very common for a lot of women to want the tighter fitting stuff. You think like yoga pants and things like that. They're a little more form fitting. That's really, really common, but there's also a good variety. We actually have some here that they're kind of a skort.
I would like that.
Yeah, so like these right here, these aren't skirts. These are just baggy, a little bit baggy shorts.
I would like that.
But yeah, we've got several varieties here that they're a little less form fitting, a little more loose fitting. And one of the things that's really characteristic of the cycling shorts is going to be the chamois liner. That's what they call a chamois.
With the cushion.
With the cushion inside, exactly. So, and this isn't just about the padding. It also helps with moisture wicking. It also helps with reducing friction, reducing some chafing, to make you just more comfortable ride. It's a little bit less you get more miles a little bit easier.
Now, I do have to ask this question, Richard, in regards to your saying the lining inside. Most of the lining seems to be in the back in your posterior area, but the bike seat, goes all the way through. Do certain shorts have certain placement of the lining versus other? Because I'm not as comfortable in the front of the seat area as I am in the back.
Typically, the like I said, the main purpose of the liner is friction reduction as well as padding. So it's really going to focus in the areas that are contacting the saddle all the time. All the brands that we carry are going to have enough coverage for the entire saddle area, with a lot of special attention paid to the sit bones, because that's where most of that pressure is going to be. I think there are some like online brands that you can get that may have different designs, but the main brand we sell here is Liv. We also have Pearl Izumi, which is a very, very popular brand, and all of their chamois pads are going to be like a full coverage.
Just real quick, because of time, the shoes. I know that's the next big one. Can we just talk about the shoes really quick?
Yeah.
Sizing.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the shoes, we've got all range of shoes, anywhere from like $100 to $400. Just like apparel, and just like regular shoes, they do have different size ranges for women and for men. So the women's shoes are designed to fit specifically for women, and the men's shoes are fit specifically for men.
Well, I see you found a lot of things. Didn't hurt you at all.
No, and just being able, as he says, the saddle and the seat portion, and I learned a lot about that to be comfortable. So I'm excited.
And finding the right saddle, as we call them, instead of a seat, it does make a difference. Having the right gloves, the right shoes, just the right fit in general. It's just like anything else you do. If you are dressed appropriately, it makes that whole engagement a lot more smoother. We'll take another break and back with more.
#1 station for R&B. Magic 101.3. Me that green light. With your permission. We're live, local, and Louisville. Magic 101.3, the home of Steve Harvey and Morning Show. We are.
My name is Monshea Harris. I've been working for the water company for about over 5 years, and I'm a lead man here at the water company. The lead man takes a crew out, and we go out and do a lot of maintenance, main breaks, whatever it may be that they need us to do. What I enjoy most about my job is being out with my crew every day, getting to know each other and bonding, and doing something that's going to be good for the community. I run into customers in the community. I try to soothe their minds by just letting them know that we're going to try to get their water on as fast as possible. We're going to try to make sure that we do the best job we can to make sure everything goes right. What I would say to someone that was looking for a career in the water company would be, it's a great job. I think it is one of the best jobs in Louisville right now. I think it would be a great move for anybody that want to come to work for the water company. The reason I chose to come and work at the Louisville Water Company, I was working for the city as a lead man, and I always wanted to come and work for the water company, and they gave me the chance to come work for them, and it's been great ever since. The best part of the day is knowing the experiences that I got to have. Everything that I run into every day is something new. It's nothing old. You don't do the same job every day, so it makes it real exciting, and you're going somewhere different every day, so that's the best part of the day. It does have the best water in the country. If you go anywhere else, out of town, anywhere, if you taste their water compared to ours, our water is always #1.
I can't believe that the sun is dropping, so it's, let me start that again. We're still here at Senator Neal's. The sun is dropping. Andy Beshear is still talking, and people are still engaged. And it's just a great event.
It is, just to be up close and personal, and for him to hear what your concerns are. And like he said, this is his 8th stop, and as we're talking about commitment.
Right.
I don't think just because he's running, but I think that's just him, genuineness and sincerity again.
Yeah. And I think it goes beyond hearing. He's actually listening.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And understanding, so which is great. And speaking of understanding and hearing, Ivy Brito, if you've got some insurance needs, take a look at this. Ivy, what do you have for us today?
I'm Ivy, back today with another financial segment. Today we're going to talk about 2 words. Everybody wants it, everybody needs it, but only a few people have it. What am I talking about? An emergency fund. I know. Everybody knows they need it. You've heard it time and time again. You need enough expenses to cover 3 to 6 months of expenses. That's a lot of money, and it's really hard for a lot of people to do. So today I'm going to share with you a couple of tips on why you need an emergency fund and a couple of ways that you can get started with it. So an emergency fund is money that's set aside for what I call true emergencies, not the shopping trip for the event that you're going to, but for things like job loss, the car needs new tires, or the refrigerator breaks down, or the water heater breaks. Those are true emergencies that emergency funds should be used for. So how do you get started? That's a lot of money, like I said before. I know, right? Is it really practical that you can even do this? Well, slow and steady wins the race. So what I'm going to suggest to you is that you start small and you do it on an automatic basis. So $10 a week, $20 a paycheck, $50 a month. Find some consistent amount that you can do on a regular basis, and you will be surprised at how fast that amount will grow to a substantial amount. So how do I do that? One of the ways that you can do that is by going to your payroll benefits department, have a portion of your paycheck deposited into your savings account. It doesn't have to be a lot, $10, $20. The other thing that you can do is go to your bank, have them deduct that automatically, again, on a regular basis, because it has to be consistent. Have them take out $10, $20, $50 and put it into your savings account. Out of sight, out of mind. So an emergency fund, a core foundational piece for you to get on the road to wealth building and financial freedom. If you're ready to come along with me, get started today. It's easier than you think. Max and Denise, back to you.
Well, you know what? I think that's our show.
And that's our time.
And we'll see you back here next time on Urban Lifestyles.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I think we need to go back in here and catch up with Andy Beshear.
Definitely. Oh, a lot of good information going on.
All right. See you next time.